Well, sports betting really is taking off, isn't it?
It really is, bro.
ESPN has announced is launching ESPN Bet, a new online sports app, as the rebranding partner of
Hmm.
PIN National Gaming. This is the first
Hmm.
time I'm hearing a PIN, but making it a significant. This makes it a significant move for both partners or both
Hmm.
parties. Sticks, how you feel about or how do you see this turning out? This sports betting and ESPN being involved.
It was time will only tell when ESPN will actually get into the sports bet, and now that it's becoming such a national thing and people are, some states are making it legal, and ESPN is the worldwide leader in sports, so why not ESPN get into the sports bet? And now the one thing that kind of threw me off is that, well, are they? But I was gonna make this comment. I'm gonna still make the comment anyway. But Disney is such a wholesome kind of company, and ESPN is under Disney. So I was like, is Disney going to allow them to do the sports betting? But you know, even though they're under Disney, it's still their own kind of entity within Disney. So, and they're going to spend their money how they're going to spend their money. So, and sports betting, especially legal sports betting in the states where it's legal and where you can do it and how you can
Mm-hmm.
do it, not them damn athletes, but but which is what we've been talking about for the past like couple months now. People be getting suspended, but it was only a matter of time that they would get into it, and I feel like it's a good avenue for ESPN to get into, even seeing like they have every sport imaginable that you can watch on ESPN. So it's only right that they be in the sports betting. Now, D'Lo didn't talk about this, but Penn Entertainment, who was a part owner of Barstool Sports, which was another um, sports betting avenue as well, they purchased it for $3 billion, and they ended up selling it back to get into ESPN. Is that and that how that worked, D-Lo? I think you told me about that.
They purchased Barstool.
Yeah, they ended up
Oh yeah,
purchasing
yeah.
it and then selling it back.
They purchased Barstool for $300 million,
Three
and
hundred
then
million. Okay.
the owner, I forgot. I should know his name because he was involved in the LSU and what's the girl name? LSU
I forget.
basketball.
Oh, you talking about
Um,
Angel
Angel
Reese?
Reese. Angel
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Reese. So he was involved in the Angel Reese ordeal when people were calling her all sorts of names for doing the gesture that she did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I forgot his name, but he was able to buy back Barstool for $1. And so
Mm-hmm.
shortly after he bought back Barstool, this news came out that they were in bed with ESPN and now starting this gaming app or this
And that,
sports betting app that they have
yeah,
now. So
and that's where the billions came from because they're part of a $2 billion agreement with Disney and ESPN to start this ESPN bet. So I think it's dope. I think it's dope because the way sports betting has been going here for the past year or so, they sports betting has created almost $8 billion in revenue over the past year. Which was said to be reported a 63% increase from 2021, according to the American Gaming Association. So it only makes sense for the worldwide leader of sports to get into sports betting, and Penn Entertainment is a platform that has a lot of has a lot of money, and they've been in the sports betting for quite some time now. And the fact that 16 states are now legal to be able to do sports betting, and Penn Entertainment is trying to get in where they fit in because a lot of people are going to do it on their phone. It's readily accessible on your phone. You can download an app, put your bets in as long as it's legal, and you can make your money. And you can make or you can lose money. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're making the right decisions as far as who you betting on to score these points or what color the Gatorade is and all this other things of the Super Bowl. Like it's
who
it's
wins the
kind of
coin
crazy.
toss?
I'm telling you, it's kind of crazy the things that you
Who's
can
choosing
actually bet
first
on
touchdown?
these apps, bro. But it only makes sense. It just makes sense for them to do this.
Yeah.
And what you think? What you think is going on with ESPN getting into it, bro?
I mean, I just think ESPN is using their namesake to get a big chunk of the pie that is sports betting and sports gambling. I mean, we know it's been legal in Las Vegas for quite some time, but now it is
Mm-hmm.
starting to be legal more widespread across the United States. And with ESPN being who they are in the sports entertainment industry, it's only right that they, throw their hat in the ring to be a leader in the sports betting industry as well. So it definitely serves its purpose for ESPN, as well as Penn Entertainment, in order to be involved with each other when it comes to creating this app, but allowing ESPN to have its namesake on it, because ESPN is a trusted um, provider of sports and entertainment across the world, not just the United States. So it gives Penn Entertainment access to people that they may not have had access to before, which will bring in more money for both parties. So I mean, like, if sports gambling has been an $8 billion industry for
Mm-hmm.
the last couple years, you only need to have own 2% of the business to make a significant amount of money. So the money is definitely rolling in. I just think it's funny that in the last month, 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
we've seen so much about sports gambling from the athletes, from
Mm-hmm.
the regular Joe Schmoes having access to bet and gamble and bet on sports. It's something else that they don't
Can
want us to
give them some
focus
kind
on.
of
And
temptation. Yeah.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I've always seen this quote about the circus is what it's called, and I'll read it to you. So I feel like our attention is being drawn away from somewhere else,
Mm-hmm.
and the sports and entertainment industry is such a big mainstay and a big driver of business in the United States that now they're like enticing us to push our money there. But the quote is by conspiracy theorist Bill Cooper, who famously has said, "It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive and when people are asking questions? When the people don't like the policies of the emperor, he sends them to the circus. He creates a circus, fills the giant coliseums, and begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has a great chariot race and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world." It's something else that's going on. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I believe it could be something else that's going on that's taking either our dollars away from something that we should be spending the money on, or saving for ourselves for a rainy day in the future, or taking our mind away from something else, saying, "Oh, I can make money on LeBron now by using the app with ESPN."
Mm-hmm.
It might be
Yeah.
far-fetched, but that's just my thoughts on it.
And that makes sense too, man. Because I mean, I know it's so many things. I mean, you could even sit here and say the Montgomery, Alabama thing was a distraction from something else. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just like Ocean Gate, you know what I'm saying, a distraction from
Hmm.
something else. Because we going drama drives a lot of people's lives. And people love a good story, and people love to talk about things that have nothing to do with their own lives in general. So, I mean, social media is a place where they can let all their thoughts out. You know, and especially for people who have these kind of issues with gambling, this is just another way for them to give the government their money, because that money that's going into these sports betting apps is being taxed too. So it's just another
Right.
way for us to, you know, give the government a little bit piece of our bread. But I mean, it does make sense that ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports, is into this sports betting, and it was only a matter of time that they would get into it anyway. So
Right.
it's a good look for them. It's but just like D'Lo mentioned, and I kind of mentioned a little bit too. It's just giving the athletes another avenue to make more mistakes in my eyes, because they've already been doing it. There's been so many suspensions over the past couple of months since
Hmm.
the year 2023 started. There was so many suspensions, people getting caught for betting on their own teams or betting on other teams and stuff like that. And this just as another avenue for them to do that. And it's smart in one end, but it's tempting in another. So I mean, I feel like it's good and bad. I don't particularly gamble myself, but I used to be, on um like I don't even know the names of the motherfuckers no more. That's how long I've been doing it. But some of these, these daily sports fantasy apps that you can make a little bit of money here or there, but I was never addicted to it, which is why I don't even remember what apps I was on. So
Right.
I mean, who knows? Who knows where it goes from here? But the fact that they spent 300 million, to buy Barstool, then sold it back for $1, and then put $2 billion into ESPN, they know they can make some bread from it. So we're gonna see where it goes from here. It's supposed to drop in the fall. Oh yeah. It's supposed to drop in the fall, so we'll see where it goes. For sure. Yep. Thank you for watching this video. If you made it this far and you like what you see, there's a video on the screen right here. I think you might like this one as well. And also, you can find us on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast.